So one thing that came up yesterday was the process that we are changing ages right now. So we were in the age of Aries from the time of zero. So when we have our AD BC, that time was when the beginning of the age of Aries began. Aries is the child of the astrology horoscope. And so it's very impulsive, it's very fiery, it's very headstrong. It likes to initiate things, but not necessarily follow through once it gets bored. So we were in that age for 2,000 years ish. And now we are entering into Aquarius. And so the age of Aquarius was destined to be around 2000 to 2018, 2020. And these ages don't just switch over in night. So now that we're entering into the age of Aquarius, Aquarius is a very interesting sign because it is a human that brings water in a clay pot on a cloud. So it's very much about containing grounded emotions, bringing them through words and thoughts kind of thing. And so it's a very, very beautiful sign, very oriented to the group. So as we're getting really into the age of Aquarius right now, we are at a gateway point right now. The gateway is going to close in 7 years. So this is the beginning point of calling us out, clearing us out, and preparing us to fully be the group that we need to be on this planet at this time. So many other things have happened. There was the activation of Uluru on January 12th, which is the solar plexus chakra of the world, which is our yeses, our nos, our boundaries. So this time where we're being called to quarantine and sit in ourselves, it's a time where we're being asked to plunge through the ancestral gunk. There's a whole layer of plague trauma and many other like war trauma, things like this that went on, that those bodies were not laid to rest properly. And so we're having to make our way through that ancestral gunk so that we can ascend into what we need to be. Now, because we're at a gateway point where it's going to close in 7 years and be set in the patterns of the way that we are, this is the time where we need to begin to work on our communication, our relationships to the land and to our community, and figure out what it is that we need to bring at this time. So it's a little bit uncomfortable because we're sludging through these bodies and laying to rest a ton of ancestral trauma around a variety of things. And then once we get through this, then we'll be on our path towards what the group needs as a world at whole. So hopefully that brings some faith to some people around what's going on at these times and some comprehension of the do's, the don'ts, the boundaries, the push, the pull that's happening right now. The solar plexus chakra is very fiery and very fight. And so that's where we're first of all having to take a look at our do's, our yeses, our no's, and our boundaries, because that activation that happened at Uluru. We also have Pluto conjuncting Saturn with Venus coming near the Pleiadians, all sorts of interesting things astrologically happening with the planets. And Pluto is the subconscious. So this last few days, while that conjunct between the planet of maturity, that's not very emotional about it, is coming into conjunction with the planet of the deep subconscious to be looked at, the underworld, the muckamural kind of crap. So you might have experienced a lot of grief the last few days. That's Pluto conjuncting Saturn and looking at it very maturely, what the heck needs to shift. And then we also have that singing aliens, which is the Pleiadians, in conjuncting to the Venus, so alighting the love of singing, music, dance, and the blue light. So be well at this time. Create as you can. Try and sort out what demons you need to get rid of and what ancestral trauma you need to move. And we've got this.